everyone, this is Saturday afternoon and I just took Peanut to the farmer's market this morning and he really barked a lot. So now I think that he should behave with us to go through this webinar. So today's webinar, we're talking about what? Tax around furry friends. So introducing Peanut. Hello Peanut. Can you look at the camera instead of the treat on the table? That's what he's looking at, folks. If you ever wonder why Peanut is here, because I have a treat right in front of my table. So he's focusing on that. So let's go ahead, get introducing you to our website and also our YouTube channel. You know, we do these webinars every Saturday, and whatever we did here, we put that in our YouTube channel, so you actually would find them if you just type into today's webinar's keyword, like tax around furry friends, or you can type into hobbies, hobby versus business. So those are keywords that you can find today's video. So let me show you with what I have here. You will see that this is our YouTube channel, right? You saw our YouTube channel, and I would like you to subscribe. You know how subscription from you really helps people to get to notice our webinars. And our webinars is not, I know it is not super entertaining, but it is super understandable. So we actually deliver tax knowledge to you in a very simple way. We don't have big words here, and I myself, English is my second language, so I never will pretend I speak jargons, because I don't. So with that said, my explanation to you, it is not only simple but also practical, because I have been in this field for 30 years, so it is a long time to gather experience for one's career. We also have our website right here, communitycpa.com, and if you ever want to make an appointment with us, and you can check on our calendar, book your appointment right here, folks. You can go to appointment, and then the partners will come up. These are partners we have in our firm, and each one of us specialize in a certain area, so you can look at our description of what we do and then book us for the appointment. So without further delay, let's go get into the Peanut business, right? So I have Peanut, and I have been I have been with Peanut for what, 5-6 years. So he has traveled with me all over the place. I go, and this is a miniature poodle, very mild towards to human, but if he meet another dog, and he become a little monster. So I think that part probably need to be trained so that he can be friendly with other dogs. But let's go with our PowerPoint. So that would guide me, so I don't talk too much about Peanut, even though I love Peanut. So, and he always keep me company. Here, tax around furry friends. And before we talk about what we're really aiming to accomplish, I always want to introduce myself, and also giving a chance to brag about the firm and the things that we do here, right? So Peanut is getting restless. Let me give him a treat so he can be nicer. Okay. So I am the CEO and a partner, managing partner for Community CPA. So our firm is medium-sized CPA firm. We did start back in 1998 with one client, one person, myself, and now we have about 40 staff members, professionals, and we have over 10,000 clients and 4 physical locations. And of course, we have clients all over the country, just because our presence on YouTube. There are people out of, there's concentrated people who are viewing our videos, like in California and in New Jersey. These are areas that we see a lot of clients coming in because they saw our video and they felt that we are the right firm to help them. And with that, I also want to mention to you that I am an author. I wrote my first book in 2019. It's called Appointment with Ying at 8 a.m. And I also just finished, and it's going to publish this year. The second book is called Appointment with Ying at 10 a.m. And the 8 a.m. is how to start business. The 10 a.m. is a book about how to grow your business. But of course, I do have a plan to write 2 more books. One is 2 p.m. and I call that merger and acquisition because when you get into a certain level in your business, that is something you can't help. You will meet and you will have to, come up with strategy, whether you do it or not, and are you going to sell it, so be done with, or you are going to expand. If your expand, is merger acquisition the right thing to do? So that would be my third book, 2 p.m. And I am planning to write the 4th book. It is 6 p.m. That title will be Retiring from Your Business. Trust me, I don't have any idea how to go about that yet because I myself are not there. And right now, someone was asking me, so you must have some ideas for that book. And I said, yes, I have an idea. It's 1 page, 2 letters, is no. So the retirement piece is literally a no right now. But I know I would come up with something very meaningful because the retirement for our generations is not the same as our parents. So we're not looking at it completely go away from the active business world if you are a business owner, but you're looking at ways to utilize the good part of your body part, right? If your brain is sharp, you do something. If your arms and leg is good, you do something. But when people get older, there are certain things that you just have a limitation. So that book, it will take some time for me to come up. But this is the plan for the new books that I'm introducing to you. And also before our webinar, we always talk about responsibilities, but please make sure you know that we don't take any responsibility of free seminars because we definitely, things are changing, rules are different. So when you view our videos, just be sensitive to the timestamp, knowing that it's new, come out, but some of those tax rules, regulations, and didn't really change, but some do change a lot. So just be aware of that. So now you see a happy couple with a puppy. Isn't that a picture of you? A lot of you are that way, right? And so I want to say, our next slide just simply state that pets are not our dependents. They are not. So the survey by American Pet Products Association had revealed that the owner of the pets in the United States spends over 75 billions on their animals in 2019. This is right before pandemic. After pandemic, that number doubled. That is how many people are getting into furry friends situation, and we're purchasing things, we're spending money. No different from we're spending money purchasing things for the kids, but they're not our dependent, right? They're our liability, and they are the money you have to spend. And with that said, you want to say that when you have a furry friend, you really are looking at spending money on them, but they may not bring you any tax benefit. Okay, so but that's not for all the cases. Sometimes they do bring tax benefit. Generally speaking, none of the Peanut, my puppy's name, and right here, his name is Peanut, and none of the Peanut expenses are tax deductible if it is personal. So no matter how lovely Peanut is, and he cannot be my dependent, right? But he is my personal expense and the liability. So I am, in reality, his dependent because I'm just having too much fun with him. In certain circumstances, though, Peanut expenses can become business expense and reduce your taxable income. So you might just sitting on this sentence goes, oh, really? How would that be? So let's explore that. All right. So I think Peanut is getting restless and he wants to get his treat. So he went down there. That's okay. So let me lead into that discussion. So before I lead you to a discussion of deduction, where we say that, oh yeah, you can deduct your expenses if you have peanut. And I want to introduce this not new concept, but is very well known in the business world as hobbies versus business. So a lot of times, especially when you get audited, the IRS auditors could conclude that it's not your business, it's a hobby. So how that come about? Let's just understand the difference between hobby and business by IRS words, by IRS standards. Hobbies are activities that are completed for recreation without intention of making money. Without intention of making money. I have peanut. Am I going to make money out of peanut? Is it possible that I make some profit out of having peanut? No, right? They're really, you can't think of anything. I mean, yeah, I spend money on him, but I don't really have, this is a hobby. I don't have a purpose, or I couldn't see myself to make money out of peanut. And then the IRS define a hobby as a person's side project that happens to earn money while the business is activity where the owner intended to yield profit. Did you see that difference? So, maybe you are a stamp collector and you do these things. In the olden days, there's a lot of them, right? And you collect that in your spare time. You have a full-time job, and occasionally you make some money, and that is not a business. But let's say you have you just operating a collection, like the pawn shop kind of collection business, then suddenly you are making money as a purpose. So that is where in IRS eyes that is a business. And a hobby, the pros for people who say, oh, I have a hobby, what is the benefit of saying that? Really, the only benefit is that when it is not a business, there is no pressure. And a business has tremendous pressure because the only way you get into the business was because you wanted to make money. If you are in the business and you're not making money, you will fold. The business won't go on. It is impossible for someone to make loss every year to continue that business. But that is not equal. You lose money, that's not equal to your taxable income is zero. There's a lot of IRS regulations and the things you can take advantage, even though you made money, but with bonus depreciation and things like that, or tax credit that you got from tips, and those kind of things can make your tax liability to be zero. But that doesn't mean that you did not make money. You still made money. Just that your money somehow, with all the tax regulations, and it is granted to not pay taxes for that year. You don't need to pay tax for that year. So making money is still the purpose. Then on the disadvantage, the cons of having a hobby is that none of your expenses is deductible. Peanut cannot, the money I spend on peanut, the insurance and everything is not deductible because it is a hobby. But if, let's say you raise peanut to make money and you got a way to make money, and that insurance expenses and everything become deductible, right? So hobby is just, you can't deduct any cost you have on it. But if you have a hobby income, you do have to report that. It's on Schedule 1 for 1040. But expenses you cannot deduct. Now that was taken away. And the small businesses though, the ability you will make money and you can deduct your expenses even if the money you made is smaller than the expenses you spend, you can deduct the losses. So that's really the fundamental difference between the hobby and the business, right? And it is easy for IRS to think that it is hobby. Let me tell you why it is easy. And you are actually running your business under sole proprietorship, under single member LLC. So you literally are, literally are doing your tax return with this Schedule C on there and with Peanut's name on it, and you are deducting the food, the insurance, the medical bill, and whatever you spent, and you had a loss, and that is what IRS watching for. IRS would come in to your audit for your 1040 and can decide on that for you. This is not a business, it's a hobby. So file Schedule C to deduct your pet expenses, but also has no income. That is easy for that conclusion. And you did not have a company for it, which I mean is you did not form a corporation, you did not have an LLC around it, you're just like running it as sole proprietorship. You're asking IRS to decide for you whether that is a hobby or it is a business. So, and with, when you get audited, if you come through with too much joy out of the peanut, the auditor did not see the purpose for business, but all they see is your enjoyment, then that is a tattoo for hobby, right? You are just enjoying it, you don't care whether you make money or not. When talking to you, you did not show that your peanut life is planned, organized, carried out in the business-like manner. You did not even register your peanut or train your peanut to certain good use. You did not have intention to make money out of peanut. So all of these things, the auditor will come through. Did you train peanut for something? And, for example, in one of our clients operates a mental counseling company. And inside of that company, they have a puppy. They have a dog just like Peanut, a medium size, and it's in the clinic. But this animal is trained to comfort the patient. So it is therapy dog. It is dog that they use to calm down the children when they come in. So there's a reason for them to have that dog in the clinic. So now, puppies, Peanut actually have food, insurance, all of these expenses. What happened to those expenses? Business expense, right? So those are not even planned out. You didn't really make any money and you didn't have special training to claim a puppy, to claim your pet as your business expense. That's a stretch that is not even reasonable, right? And to your auditors, it is a leisure activity conducted in your spare time for recreational. So hobby income is reported, but hobby expense is not allowed to be deducted. So I just want you to know. But of course, we also want to cover like a dog like Peanut. Can it really be a business expense? The answer is yes. And I listed several things on here to give you ideas of dogs in business. So how could they be in business? They can be a guide dog for vision impaired people. You see those ones, right? And the therapy animals. The bird can be a therapy animal, cat can be a therapy animal, but therapy animals is not what you just name your dog a therapy dog. No, they need to get training. You want to get that certificate, and you also have a business that related to use these therapy animals for conducting your business, right? Of course, raising assistance dogs. You may be a breeder or a dog shelter. What you do is to raise those dogs to provide assistance to handicapped people. So that could be a useful business to do. Security dogs, farm dogs. Farm dogs, of course, is part of the farm expenses. And so you can animal internet, movie stars. This is like the grumpy cat, right? Actually, that grumpy cat, it is an internet star. So getting the cat on the video and posting things, so that is a business expense. So dog trainer as another one. Dog shelters, a modification made to facilities and a home for dogs that is in business. raising your dog for business, and it will allow you to deduct everything related to your dog. So, one of the picture I found on internet, this gentleman is working and the dog is sitting by him. If he is a handicapped person, for example, with emotional issues, and this dog is certified for, therapy dog, and then everything related to this therapy dog, it is either business expense or is a medical expense, right? Because it is part of the condition for someone's medical condition to get better. And the service and the working dog, service dog will likely have to be trained and certified. So this is where the difference is. You can claim your dog. I know in Iowa, in California, it's a lot more open. But in Iowa, if you want to take your dog to a restaurant to eat with you, and a lot of time the restaurant owner will ask you whether your dog is a service dog. And you say yes or no. The yes answer means that the dog is being trained and certified to help to treat certain illness. So you want to make sure that you got that certification. I know now you can actually register the dog on the internet for emotional support dogs. Those dogs do not require training. So sometimes certain organizations don't recognize those dogs as a companion for illness. They, even for the airline, they don't have to allow you to take it just because it is an emotional support dog, but a lot of airlines do. So those are things growing in progress. I think the more people are claiming the dogs as emotional support dog, so the treatment will come through from private organization all the way up to the government. So now if you say that he's my emotional support dog, so I'm going to deduct that on my Schedule A for medical insurance, for medical expenses, is that okay or not okay? I think if you don't have a doctor's diagnosed to say that you need this dog to be normal, otherwise you go out to shoot people. And if you don't have that, it is hard to qualify for the medical expense deduction. But if you do have those kind of notes from the doctor, and that can be articulated, can be submitted to IRS. Also when you taking on certain tax positions, for example, you want to deduct all your dog food to Schedule A medical expenses, and you're not sure whether that's right or wrong, you actually can, submit to IRS to get the answer directly from IRS. You can try to call IRS, just write down the person who answer your call, and she or he would have the ID number as an IRS employee. That ID number is your free ticket. You want to write it down, because if this person give you a wrong answer, you did your taxes based on that answer, you have that ID number to supply to the auditor, you will get by without problem. But not knowing who talked to you and you just say that I called IRS, they told me that I can do this, that's not good enough. That's not a proof. So you want to make sure when you talk to IRS, you always have a pen and paper ready. You're always gonna write down that ID, that who you talk to, okay? And movie star dogs, those are really, really good one, right? Movie star dogs, and those are the dogs. They are stars in YouTube channel or TikTok. I saw a dog TikTok video. It was so amazing, and this guy was eating dumplings, and the dog wants one. But when he eats dumplings, he actually dumps the dumplings in the vinegar and then eat it, right? So he gave a dumpling to the golden retriever, the dog won't eat it. And the dog was hinting with his chin saying, the vinegar. So then he dipped the dumpling in the vinegar, gave to the dog, and he ate it right away. It was so funny. So those are movie stars on internet, on YouTube channel, on TikTok, and raising that dog and making money from YouTube channel and the TikTok, that's your income. and your expenses can be the training for your dog and the food, the insurance, all of that coming in as a business. So you may ask me that, well, should I just do that on my 1040 and as a sole proprietor? My answer is no. You want to take away that debate between hobby and the business. The most effective way to take away that debate is to form a corporation and get all of your income and your expenses under S corporation. I say S because number one, it is corporation. Number two is S, so it's passed through the income or expenses to your 1040. So let's say in the first year, you just spent too much money training the dog and that you made less and you spend more, then that's okay. The loss can be going into your 1040 to deduct your other income. So that's why 1120S and the S corporation is actually the best tax structure for any businesses that come through has this gray area of hobby and business hard to divide. So don't even try to do that under 1040 because your auditor would not understand hobbies and the business on your behalf. They have their own opinions, their own trainings, so they could easily deny all of your expenses and tax you on income, so you just lose on the business and also lose on the taxes, right? Not a good deal, not a good deal. So this is the movie star of a dog that I saw on internet, and this dog actually can jump to catch frisbees in a very high distance. So the I think it's a TikTok would show how he flies and it would have a slow motion to catch the frisbee. And then I saw the subscribers like over 1 million. So he makes money out of that. So that would be his movie star and he'll make money. And there are also deductions that you can deduct it, but you don't have to be in business with Peanut. And so non-business but deductible, there's two things I want to mention. Number one is the moving expense. This one right now is limited to armed force, the active armed force. So if you are veterans still in active duty, and when you move around and you can fill up 3903 to pay for the transportation of your dogs and your parrot and your cat and things like that. And the other one to deduct, but it's not business related, it is the nonprofit side. You know, the animal shelters, sometimes they would look for host families to put the dog in your home. So when you do that, the expenses you have is treated as a donation. So then you would have that as part of your donation, and you just need to know the shelter's EIN number, the name, so you calculate all of what you spend, including insurance, food, and everything, and then put that as a charitable donation on your Schedule A. So those are deductions without in business with your dog, but that dog has to be, you have to be raising that dog for the shelter, right? Cannot be yours like the Peanut I have. The Peanut is not a shelter dog, it's mine, so it is not really qualified for charitable donations. And the last slide I have here is I want to give you a grant application opportunity here, and you can get $2,500 to $5,000 for making the dog in the workplace. So if you have a workplace where having a dog would be beneficial, and then you can actually apply this grant and to get assistance from this Caesar is actually a brand name for the dog food. You probably remember seeing them. They come in with a little I don't know what breed. It's a small dog. It's a dog picture with a Caesar, and that's the brand they have. So this dog food manufacturer is putting out this grant to support people making dogs are a part of our work environment. So I want you to know that, so you can definitely apply. The application deadline is July 28th, so don't forget, if you're interested, just please make sure you take a snapshot of this page, then go on to search for that. All right, so today, and I really wish that I could get Peanut to come up to say bye to all of you. So, but couldn't find him. He's somewhere. Peanut, are you somewhere? Can you come over and to say bye? And this is our last slide for our webinar, and we always have it at 3 o'clock. Thank you, Grace. Look at that. Look at Peanut is here. This Peanut, and he just looked for his food. Peanut is happy to be with me, and I am his dependent, and I cannot deduct to him because he's not my business. He is literally a hobby. So I hope that you find this webinar is meaningful, informative to you, just in case you want to get into breeding business and thinking that I do know breeders who makes very good money, especially during the pandemic time. So it is not like a business doesn't make money. It makes good money when you are doing it right. But if you ever consider to do such a business, like I mentioned to you, to have it under Schedule C as a sole proprietor is not a good idea, because you always are getting into the area where hobbies versus business, it become a judgment call. And you saw that the difference even from IRS is not so black and white, right? It has a lot of, so what the auditor gonna ask you? The auditor gonna ask you, do you intend to make money out of Peanut? And if it is a business, your answer should be yes. If it is not a business and you don't care, so that is, but who doesn't want to make money out of nothing or everything? So it is difficult to make that judgment call, and it is easy for you to lead IRS to the place where they would conclude that your tax is wrong, you should not deduct anything, and here you go, we conclude that to be a hobby. So if you have those kind of thought and form a company properly, and even if it is so small, even if it is so little, but it's still better than having that sitting on your 1040 and drawing attentions and unnecessary audit to yourself, right? Don't forget, IRS got the funding to hire 87,000 new auditors. And one of the statistics I saw, they're talking about 87,000 auditors. That means 3 auditors per business, and that they can audit because of the amount of audit each auditor can do. So we're talking about a lot of businesses are subject to audit with this kind of movement the White House has. So just be safe and be clear with what you are doing. And we always want to make sure that we understand the rules and regulation before we proceed with the business decision you are making or hobby decision that you are making, right? And if you have any other ideas for us, please email Catherine at the Community CPA. And you can always, you see Peanut is here, and he is like, he just sighed. I think he's like, he knows he's off camera. So we hope that you have a good weekend. And one more thing I want to remind you, and just in case you don't know, Community CPA is the only CPA firm that opens on Saturday. If you give us a call on Saturday, a live person would come on and would talk to you. And unlike other professional firms, it's Monday to Friday, and we recognize our small business being busy, business owners being busy, and so maybe Saturday is the only day they have to talk to professionals, so we're here to help you. All right, have fun and admire my Peanut, and he is a great puppy. Talk to you. Bye.